Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, or I should say, welcome to the SEAS Summer Tournament. Here with the host Blackjack and Baba Gusta, and of course, hosting our game tonight is going to be Bullet, who's joining us as well. Baba, how are we feeling this fine evening?
Well, just to start off, Jack, I am feeling excited, and I seriously cannot wait to see what our matches that we're going to expect in this best of three matchup. This time, it'll be between Team Shaheens versus Roosters. So,
Mhm.
Roosters are, basically the teams from the side of Elevate. So,
Oh
I'm
yes.
just kind of excited to see, how will they go up against. At this point, as I can remember, I believe Shaheens haven't gone up against Team Elevate in the LCQ. So I'm really excited to see how well that they would go up against.
Absolutely. And we'll get into that whole elevate thing in just a moment, folks. Right now, we are already into map number one. As you can see, the bans are coming off. And with the first ban of the night being taken care of, that is Dokkaebi by the side of Roosters. And we've got the second ban coming in as well. That is going to be Thatcher, an old favorite, shall we say, on this map, on any map of Rainbow Six. Competitive Rainbow Six and Thatcher bans go together like bread, butter, and jam, as it were. The third ban of the night, as we have the first defender, that will be Shaheens' pick. It is going to be Valkyrie here. No surprises, though. Villa does offer a lot of potential camera spots for the Valkyrie to hide her cameras in, and we've seen where that can lead us to, some very interesting and certainly very sticky situations for the attackers. And the final defender for this first map, it is going to be Solus, picked up and banned by the Roosters. Solus is becoming a very quickly, she's becoming a standard ban, I would say, for this game of Rainbow Six. But with all that said, folks, let's have a look at the 10 players that are in the lobby for us tonight. From the side of the Shaheens, we've got Rhymes with Buck, Z-Dux, Bulbasaur, Mad Ali, and Envy. And from the side of Roosters, we've got Barcode, Tolji, Speakeasy, HCOG, and Ape as we go to second floor Aviator and Games Room as the first site of choice.
Yep, here we go. Second floor site's been opened up for Roosters, and for Shaheens, let's see how well that they can break this defense. Interestingly enough, we see HCOG bringing in Tachanka, since he's been have a slight buff where he'll have a total of 20 Shumika launches in his hand. So that's a total of, if you just make the maths, that's 100 seconds of denial at a
That's
single use of an operator. Just imagine the amount of time being wasted from that, Jack.
That is a lot of time, yes. That is absolutely correct, Baba. But one thing you do need to remember is that you're not going to get the whole 100 seconds out of the Tachanka, right? Obviously,
Hmm.
they're going to be using it in bursts, since a certain number of those canisters are going to be going out at any given point in time. As unlike Goyo, right, whom you can just put down the canisters and let them rip, you can't exactly do the same with Tachanka. Speaking of whom, we've got a 9x19 VSN on this Tachanka player here. HCOG going for the spawn peek out of the balcony door, not finding any targets, not just yet, of course. Now, as you can see, folks, all of the players on the Rooster side have the Elevate tag. What does that mean? Well, they are players on the Elevate roster. They are the current active roster, for that matter, for Elevate, that have currently, as of the last couple of weeks, won their way into the Copenhagen Blastar 6 Major. So this is a team that's very much on form, currently facing up to their first bit of a challenge here on Study Balcony, as the first gas canister and Shimika launcher have gone off. And there comes in Barcode, finds the first kill as Mad Ali goes down, but a beautiful grenade to fire back. Envy gets the trade.
Yep, two huge quick frags being made from both the sides, and here comes Invi with yet another grenade. This time just to remove some of the important utilities from Red Stairs, but the fight
Ooh.
still lives on towards the study room as both Ape and Rhymes with Buck, both of them will secure a kill. Now it's a 3v3 situation. Shaheens are going neck to neck in this attack, and turns out it is quite going well. Even the frag outs too from Envy, immediately catching out one of the players off guard. Well, the second one comes in with the refrag. And especially in this 2v2 situation, we see a quick reinforcements being made. Here comes the Shumika launches from HCOG, trying to force out the Mountain, but he will force him all the way inside the AVG. And guess what?
Ooh.
Here comes Envy once again towards the red stairs. He just needs to deny this Surya gate, in which he evidently does so. Rhymes with Bug, contests the gunfight with a shotgun. At the end, he will win it. What a huge chaotic round in the first round itself. And this time we're going to see Shaheen secure it out.
All right, Shane's taking this first round of attack constantly, staying toe for toe, kill for kill against the Roosters, never letting that defensive team get one up over them, right? We saw the first kill taken by Barcode, immediately grenaded out by Envy. Then we had the Frost jumping out of the balcony window on Study, right? To be traded by the Monty, of course. Then we had, who was that? The Azami, right? Dropping down into Art Study down below, took a kill, but Envy was there again. That was Envy's second kill of the round. Envy walking away with 3 total. So Envy was making sure that the Shaheens were not ever, more than a step behind the Roosters. And even then, once an advantage was found, it was taken and kept by the Shaheens. It was well done, all things considered. And, there's always something to watch out for with that Shaheens roster. There's always something you gotta, make sure you don't let them off easy, so to speak. Unfortunately for the Roosters, they kind of did, but this is the first round, and these two teams aren't exactly teams that have faced each other too often. So the Roosters are probably taking taking a little bit of time, really figuring out how the Shaheens play, and then they'll go from there.
Yeah, this time I have to say on round number one, such a strong start from Shaheens. Being able to detect exactly where one of the players would just immediately go in for a quick rotate from Study. Even Piano was completely under control for Shaheen, so it was really good. But now, since round two will be in play and looking at the drone works from Shaheens, they immediately realize that a little bit of lines of sight has been blocked out. That is all the way towards coach room. You still have Barcode playing from first row main stairs, and here comes the
Oh,
first frag. And this time it's Bolobosor taking out Speakeasy very quickly. Early advantage still at the hands of Shaheens, but turns out Bolobosor's information will be given away all the way towards 90's angle. And I believe that
oh
crossfire
dear.
angle will be established from
Ooh.
Envy. A lot of damage being taken, but he will secure the gunfight. Ape Elevate comes in once again with a pistol to secure a headshot to take out Bolobosor. Barker, on the other hand, red stairs, very low on HP. He needs to make his shots count, so he'll definitely fall back all the way towards the side. But the main problem has to be towards second floor master bedroom. That's exactly where the Azami is.
Right now, you've got two players peeking just outside of this bedroom window. There goes a Flores drone as well. Azami's position given away, and the Rotero forced to blow up early, as we do have a Rios request going into the next round right after this round ends. So a little unfortunate, but hey, it is what it is. Right now, let's just see how the round goes after this. Zdux comes in with another. That's 8 to fall. 2v4 for the Roosters. Can they pull this off? HCOG starts things off with a beautiful first kill in V default. That's your diffuser dropped as well in front of sight. Not out of the attacker's reach, mind you, but this 2v3 is very possible. Sazami hiding by the statue could make a huge play right now. Zedex has fallen in, and the Flores is right behind him. That's going to be an easy double kill. HCOG with a point taken. Double at that. And Rhymes with Buck is now the only one left standing. Flashbang out. Gonna go straight in, but the Bearing 9 will not. And out. HCOG takes the kill. And Roosters equalize 1-1.
Yep, that is what I like to call a definition of trigger discipline. Patiently waits as he was trying to find the second player. Once he knew that the Flores's location was given away, all he had to do was just perfectly line up, get those two kills, and force Shaheens at a very bad disadvantage. Pause will be requested from Shaheens. So instead of a rehost, it will be a pause. So shouldn't be much of a problem for the fifth player to come back. And once again, Elevate, congratulations for securing a spot in the Copenhagen. Congratulations once again, and hope you guys make amazing performance in Copenhagen as well, alongside with Fury.
Well, they will need that luck, so to speak.
Actually,
In
Fury, not Furia. I'm so sorry. It's Fury. I'm sorry. It's Fury. I know. I'm bad. I'm
Yeah, I
sorry.
was gonna say Furia is from somewhere else entirely.
Yeah, it's
But
Fury. Yeah.
regardless of all that, Fury and Elevate, they're the ones in the Copenhagen Blaster 6 Major, and they are going to be teams that we're going to be keeping an eye on. After all, they have been trying, Elevate especially has been trying for a long time. Anybody who's been keeping up with their exploits, have seen this, not this particular roster, but this name, Elevate, in the 6 Berlin Major, in APAC South 2022, stage 1 and 2. Of course, we saw them at the 6 Invitationals as well the earlier this year. Unfortunately, just never quite able to progress past into the big leagues, so to speak. They've been up to, I should say, like the second, third rounds even. And in Invitational 22, Elevate really came on the scene, right, with
Mm-hmm.
Onigiri leading the charge. They had a great chance of getting into top 8, but it just didn't pan out for them, if I recall correctly. That's why they had to unfortunately drop out in the second round. Invitational 23 arguably went worse for them, all things considered. So right now, this roster of Elevate needs this win. Not this win, not just this win, mind you. They obviously need this win in the summer tournament right here, but they need a win in the Copenhagen Major because, after all, APAC is relying on them. It's on their shoulders, them, Fury, and the other APAC teams that have made it in, but Elevate is going to be one of the how should I put this? One of the APAC teams that will be getting a lot of attention thrown on them as well. They'll be a highlight team, so to speak, and they'll need to play like they're a highlight team in order to show us why they are so renowned in the circuit of Rainbow Six. Shaheens, on the other hand, well, they are again a fantastic team from down here in APAC South, or should I say South Asia, which is the region that myself and Baba come from as well. But even with their near stellar record in the last few months now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Playing so well in the nationals, going nearly all the way to the finals, and then having an unbeaten record in the South Asia League, right? As of recently, being the first team to qualify for the Asia LCQ from South Asia, they were a team that really looked like could potentially go to the Copenhagen Majors, or at the very least put up a fantastic fight in the LCQs. Unfortunately, it was not to be. They got beaten out by Fury in the first round. So now they're here playing Elevate, a match they didn't get to have during the LCQ, a match that they are having now. Now, if you're wondering why we're paused, folks, well, it seems like there are some connectivity issues from the side of Roosters. We do have excuse me, there we do have a disconnect from Speakeasy, who is reconnecting, I do believe. It's just going to take a hot minute here, so stay with us, folks, while we get things up and running. But for now, we're 2 rounds in. It's a 1-1, and overall, I'd say this competition has come to a pretty good start.
Yeah, it really is. Especially on the first round, you saw how confident Shaheens were on their, aggressive peaks towards the study room. Although there was a lot of contests being made of, from both the Rooney and the Montaigne, being able to, win in those trade games is exactly what Shaheens requires. Now, round number two. They really didn't expect it that Azami would be playing right from behind the statues. So I think what Shaheens could do is that try to save some of their drones. Since Solus has been banned, you don't have to worry about your drones being destroyed, especially in the preparation phase. Especially in the prep phase, so that in the action phase, just make sure to place in drones in such a way that the defenders cannot have proper access, couldn't get to look at those drones, but instead the attackers can have every single information that they can in the prep phase itself. So with the player arriving from the side of Team Roosters, we will now proceed to round number three. So the main strategies that Shaheen needs to do is at least place a roam drone in a way that they have proper control in. And when I say roam drone, it's all the way towards 90. That's exactly where most of the Shaheens could prepare their attack towards, Ruins spawn, or maybe they could go the very shortest route towards Fountain. But I'm pretty sure that once you enter into the building towards second floor master bedroom, or let's just say second floor statuary room or bathrooms aside, you are pretty much met with a C4 out of nowhere. So they've got to be careful. They've got to prep their attack and they've got to remove the roamers as quick as possible. So the quicker they get access towards second floor, the better the chance that they have in securing these things. But oh boy, this spawn peak from Ape, I'm pretty sure he's not going to be able to secure one because he's currently trying to kill players off from Ruins' side. But Shaheens have already spawned from mains and fountains, so unfortunately he just needs to pick his goo mines up and try to find some other window of opportunities.
Side, of course, is first floor dining for this defensive team right now, Roosters. A couple of spawn peak attempts, I do believe, not just Ape. I think there was somebody down below as well in the basement trying to get an early peek out of the garage. Doesn't seem like that has panned out, however. Okay, we've got a very fast approach here from Bolo Basor, along with the player repelled on that pantry window, trying to get in through the pantry stairs, maybe go for an early scare, set up the breach that Zedux is now here for. And they are going to have to get that done quickly if they want to get this Roosters roster unsettled in the site. As there you go. That's going to be the first Selma breach going in. Line of sight will still work, but a vaultable breach would be nice as well. I think that's exactly what they're going for. Capcan's been marked as well. Rhymes with Buck on the drone, giving away that intel. Where will the Capcan go here? Tolji has to be careful about this, as some shots have been fired. But again, no real altercation between either side just yet. Speakeasy knows that there's probably players on the pantry stairs, but there aren't any right now. And that's what the pulse is for. Intel from all angles.
Yeah, this time they're applying pressure from both the basement sides, one from pantry and one from Astro basement stairs. I mean, you could just call it arch hallway at this point, but still have Zedux. By the time he throws his Ace breaches, he could open up some line of sights, but still, currently Roosters is the one who is gaining the better ends of his control because they're losing a lot of time in important time, and also securing that first kill from Envy, where Barcode won't have any problems dealing with it. Using the impact to remove the hatches, as Barcode will secure one and entirely shut off the whole place towards astronomy. At this point, Shaheens don't have any other access but to go all the way towards the side where they will be met with a very unending kills. 3 instant kills from Elevate, and that C4 will definitely seal the deal. Roosters once again showing their immense power of their defensive hold. They'll secure yet another round on defense. My god, Shaheens, they will definitely be very scared about this.
And they should be. A flawless round for the Roosters going into the fourth, 2-1 up on the defense, and a timeout has been taken. Shaheens are smart to have taken this one because they need to sort of figure out what went wrong in that last round. And the thing is, right, like you said, Baba, they tried to sort of do a double pressure from down below, right? They
Mm-hmm.
went up the red stairs, they went up the pantry stairs, they tried a lot of things, even kitchen astro stairs, right? They
Yeah.
tried that. And while initially it seemed like the Roosters were, they didn't really know what was going on and how to figure out this pressure, where it was coming from, once they knew, right, they seemed to just decide, okay, you know what, we don't really have to worry about this sort of pressure. We don't really worry about any of this because at the end of the day, if they can't get in through one of the stairs, that's all that really matters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's all that Roosters really tried to do. You saw the Pulse contesting that breach on the pantry door, on the pantry stairs, right? That was one big avenue that they simply could not enter from because the Pulse was too much of a nuisance and they couldn't get him out in time. And then just the other players from Roosters shutting down the approach from wherever, right? Astro window or, red stairs or Astro stairs, whatever you name it, it was all shut down by people in the appropriate areas and angles. And it was just a matter of time for the Roosters. Whereas for the Shaheens, it was a full collapse. It was almost systematic, really, the way Roosters handled it. So this time, Shaheens will have to be a bit more careful and a bit more, ready on their feet, so to speak, if they want to take on the Roosters on site like that and then dismantle them, because it's not going to be as easy as, you may have thought. I'm not saying that they did or that they underestimated the Roosters by any stretch of the imagination. No, no, no. You do not underestimate a team like this and then take a round away from them, right? But that was just round one. It's been a few rounds since. So right now, Shaheens have to sort of reconfigure and adapt to the situation.
The biggest problem that they have to fix definitely has to be Tolji, because the amount of protection that he has from those kunai barriers and being able to secure those kills while holding his ground, not letting Shaheen secure those trade outs, is exactly what Shaheen needs to fix those important problems. Once again, Envy catching hold of the
Oh.
Capcan trap. That is one Capcan trap's been caught out. So if Shaheens do decide to force the Orini all the way towards Trophy, then maybe we could see that Capcan Trap being exploded out by an unexpected explosion. But at this point, I think
Oh dear.
Ape needs to be very careful from the window. Oh boy, he's still alive, but he cannot get away from the Trophy side. Information will be given. C4 toss won't be able to get the kill. Ape is still alive, and Hitchcock is still contesting the angle all the way towards Astro. Tolji almost getting the kill out from the Thermite. But still, Shaheens are looking very good right now. They are getting good amount of control from Statue, Astronomy, and even on the other side. But the main problem has to be towards the side, because Roosters, they are holding their ground. There is still a lot of contestants being made in V with a commitment pre-fire, hopefully to take out the Goyo. But Barcode, he is still alive, and turns out that C4 has caught one.
That's a down on Bolobasar. One down. Envy nearly had a shot there on the player on the stairs. Barcode trying to approach as well. Tolji very close. You can see it's sort of all coming to a head on this red carpet stairs and excuse me, red carpet stairs hallway door area. Monty is up there as well. Everything is about to go down. And there's gonna be kills one way or the other. There we go. That's Madeline with the first grenade kill onto Tolji. That stairs cleaned up, and HCOG goes down as Invi takes a second. That's two huge drops for the Shaheens to have right now, as Ranjubak has pushed up very close to the site, popping off another one of those Goyo canisters, wanting to go for the plant or baiting it at least. Here comes the clash though, as shots are fired. Barcode gets one, that's Zedux to fall. And this clash is being a bit of a nuisance right now. Monty can't really do much in the side. Barcode with another as Madali goes down. And there goes the canister, finding the Montaigne. Ape on the floor. How much can he really do here? Envy also gets Barcode. Speakeasy with the TCSG. Has to find his way in right now. Hits the Iana a little bit. Can't stop the plant? No, not quite. Doesn't know the prone peak is there. And Bolobasor will finish off the final defender. It got really close right there, and a very messy round, I would say, from the Roosters overall. It wasn't quite as clean as they would have liked. I think they gave away too much ground early while trying to keep their players alive, and in doing so, and especially when the clash took that much damage from the entry window there, I feel like all of that was just a bit too much for them to, keep any sort of solid footing in the round with. And even then, they really clashed for a long, long time.
Yeah, the pressure was too much for Roosters to handle it out from Statuary Room, especially when it came all the way towards Red Stairs. That nade kill was the only important part that Shaheen got the weak point and decided to just push on with their, aggressive play style towards Statuary Room, which evidently did get 2 or 3 kills. So I'm pretty sure that this round we might see some minor changes this time. Instead of a clash, we will see a Mira this time from Tolji. So, yeah, I believe the site will still be in towards the second floor statuary and, yeah, towards trophy and statuary room. Last time I remember, it was an unexpected it was an unexpected play from Tolji, who had secured 2 kills while just, staying in that position from statuary room. So Shaheens had a lot of problems when it comes to info game with their attack drones. Let's see if they have fixed out their mistakes and this time get every single information, every inch, every ounce of information being given away. Once again, run out from Ape. Fountain, really got to be careful though. It's not going to be able to get one, but at least some sounds will be given away. There you go, the repel sounds will be made. Will the attackers take the bait? No, they won't. They're currently holding out a repel angle all the way towards Astro window, so they should be fine. And for Ape, he really needs to get away from dodge, because once he gets caught out or once he starts to do that specific thing, it's going to be tough. Oh, man. Not a good way to barricade at that exact moment. There goes your pulse.
That is mighty unfortunate. The pulse going down like that is not going to help at all. But there is a player down below, and that is going to be the Legion Barcode with an impact trying to watch. I think that is actually the bathroom window right there. Which is going to allow for some line of sight on that entry. Just waiting to see if somebody jumps in, and if they do, that's going to be a quick kill for this Legion. Waiting, just waiting right now. As in the meanwhile, you have a breach going off. That unfortunately was not an Iana who entered. That was the Gemini. That unfortunately gave away that there's somebody watching from an angle from down below. Oh
Oh,
no, team kill. Envy has just taken down Bulbasaur. The Ash falls. That's not a good way for them to have a 4v4 going right now. Speakeasy taking damage from that spray from the Iana. Still no dice for the defenders. More shots fired. This time Envy takes damage as Speakeasy does find Zedux. That's your Hibana gone.
Yep, 3v4 situation, and Shaheen's not a good way to take out your own teammate in V, especially at the execute phase. You had all the information, and all you did was just give Roosters their advantage once again. 57 seconds. Roosters are still holding on. And with the sight not being on the other place, Barcode and Tolzi just wreaks havoc once again. The control is there, and now is just Mad Ali left in a 1v3. He finds first, he finds the second. He needs to reload his gun, and he needs to do it very quick because here comes the Azami rotating all the way towards trophy room where a crossfire angle has been made. Mad Ali doesn't have any information. Only he only has one explosive drone. He could use it to just make some explosion, flashbangs. That's actually a good flashbang though. Will give away some position, and so does the second from the meter. But no, it was a fake C4 toss. But eventually did get the kill. There you go, the second kill, the final kill, and Roosters will secure one more round win on defense.
3-2. 3-2 going into the final round of the first half, and what a round as well, all things considered. As it was pretty close. Shaheen's got a very good first kill on the board. Unfortunately, I think the team kill onto Bulbasaur didn't help matters in the least, right? I think that probably, unfortunately, put them in a situation where they couldn't really get out of, because that 5v4 advantage, like whenever they've had an advantage like that, Shaheens, right? Whenever they manage to either stay on an equal footing with Roosters in a round, or take an advantage over them, so to speak. Those are the two rounds they've won, right? Roosters have won every other round because they managed to find themselves an advantage by constantly moving, rotating, and just making sure that none of the positions the Shanes think that the defenders are in, that they are eventually going to be found in. It's always somewhere else. It's always something else, someone else even. They switch out places with fellow defenders almost all the time, and it's really well done, well coordinated stuff, as is to be expected from from a team that qualified to the Copenhagen Majors, of course. But it's also still something to be admired. As we've gone back down to the dining room site, we've got a Mozzie and a Mute in play now, as we did see a Brava come out for the last couple of rounds, so we've got a counter pick here by the Roosters as well. Although there's been tons of drones from the Shaheen side already, and a lot of otherwise, electrical utility, which the Mute can counter. So all of that to say that these two are pretty solid picks. The Capcan, of course, Capcan traps are basically a staple of competitive Rainbow Six now. And we've got another Capcan coming in. But we've got another explosive utility piece as well, that being the RCE Retero drones of the Flores. Drones going out on the roam clear, second floor, excuse me, finding a player out towards that 90 hallway. And we've got 4 attackers entering into that top floor. C4 is ready to be tossed. Ape is also, I think, just rotating back. No, the castle is still up there. Actually finds one. Hello. Bulbasaur to go down. That's not a good way to start.
I mean, it's a good way for Roosters to secure their first early frag, and maybe their second if Speakeasy gets the right timing. but he will just give away the information. And he's been tagged a lot with the SMG-11. A lot of lines of sight has been made from Roosters' end, especially in towards first floor. And Zdax needs to figure out a way to dismantle at least one of those angles. And he could only do that by getting control into a second floor. Oh no, Barcode is not going to remove the
Oh
drones
dear.
just yet. Oh boy, this
Oh
would cause
dear.
chaos in a matter of seconds.
Oh.
Never mind, the Montaigne just gives away the position. Hello, Barcode would just be like, you might have figured out a way, but you definitely will not, get away the hands of the mountain. Madali secures the kill. 4v3. Roosters once again. They're feeling a bit of a pressure from Shaheen's side.
That they are. Zedux gets another H-Cock to fall. It's all up to Tolji and Speakeasy. They've been doing some good work so far, but they need more. Unfortunately, Tolji's on the ground, gets taken down. It's all up to the Mute. The lone player now gets it down onto one. And that's the Monty on the floor. Oh, that's a second, but Zedux comes around and manages to steady the ship before it could, just toss over into the ocean. 3-3 equalizer. Shaheen's really doing well in this sixth round to equalize the scoreline because they're going into defense, which means they are on what is usually Villa's, uh, you know, uh, side of advantage, so to speak, right? Villa
Mhm.
is kind of a defender-sided map, I think we can all agree, and that is why Shaheens are now in a situation where they can make the most of this match. But Roosters, let's not forget, they always have something up their sleeve when it comes to their attack.
Mm-hmm. And let's not forget, we still have. I mean, this is a best of three map. So
Absolutely.
even if map one Villa comes to an end, we still have two more maps to go. And at this point, I have to say, endurance comes at a very hefty price if both Shaheens and Roosters lose control of that situation. So you got to be careful about that. But if you take a look at the entire map on Villa, both of them just gave a fantastic performance, especially Roosters' side on second floor. The first floor site on kitchen was just absolutely amazing. The plays that you see from Tolji and HCOG, both of them playing with the Azami, they exactly know what kind of positionings do they require to place their keeper barriers, in which it gave a lot of advantage for them. Shaheens, on the other hand, they tried to use that advantage by going towards basement stairs. They tried to make a split push, but unfortunately, time was the only reason that Shaheens lost in the first place because Roosters they just locked down both of the stairs. No one is actually coming from second floor except that there was one rappelling down from the window side in which the Azami was looking out for that. She was playing both on Astro as well as the stairs down below, in which she was doing both jobs at the same time. So that was like an amazing performance from Roosters. Shaheens, on the other hand, they did come back up, especially with a good plays being made from Envy and Bolo Basor. Although he did get picked out quite early in the first few rounds, maybe on round number 4 and round number 6, they are also looking good in the first half. But now we just have to wait and watch as the second half comes into play. And I'm quite curious to see that Tachanka has been brought out a lot, especially on Map Villa.
Hmm. I mean, I have seen Roosters bring out the Tachanka before, right? It's not something too new for them, but for the Shaheens, Invi especially playing Tachanka, I, I there is the smoke, right? Mad Ali has brought in the smoke, so it's not like they're substituting smoke for Tachanka. It's more so that they're picking them both in tandem. And this is something that, we sort of talked about before, me and Baba in other matches we've casted elsewhere, that Tachanka is a great sort of smoke replacement, but also a great. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh boy.
We've got the choo-choo train coming in. It's all in here, but no! Envy will shut down Barcode, and there goes Tolji, the sense to fall as well. HCOG manages to find Envy. That is your, well, all right then. All right then, HCOG going in the side, and Speakeasy having a good time of it as well. Shots are fired all over the place. As Rhymes with Buck is suddenly the last one left standing, finds HCOG, gets shots fired onto the Finca. Has to be careful though. There is the Nomad as well, trying to shut down any sort of exit, but just about manages to stay alive, but only for so long. Speakeasy manages to catch the clash. The shield on the back. My goodness. That was a chaotic round. Attempted sense blitz rush, only for there to be an Amaru slightly later than expected, just completely derailing Shaheen's in the site.
Yep. Once the choo-choo train is in effect, there is nothing that can stop them. Not even a defender, not even a brake, including a handbrake. And at this point, Shaheen's, yeah, they were just trying to put a stop of all of this madness. But unfortunately, it was, let's just say they just lost the engines. Unfortunate. But all in all, that will give Roosters the win on the attack. A stunning shock for Shaheens, as they could not expect to hold down that pressure that's been happening from round number 7. Once there was a blitz rushing towards the side, next thing you know that there's an Azami, sorry, not the Azami, Amaru. Yes, I totally have to apologize because there's a lot of A's in operators. Already you have the Amaru, the Aruni, the Azami. Sometimes you always get confused. But what I'm trying to say is when you have both the rushers, one holding, one pushing all the way towards the second floor games room, that kind of act as a distraction. And all Amaru had to do was just confirm those kills because he was coming all the way towards the 90s window. That's the main reason why, he had the Garo hook. He even entered towards the Windows side, secure all those kills. It was more of like a distraction that Rooster did eventually get the rest of those kills. And Shaheens, my God, let's hope that they can hold on to some more because I believe that they are bringing in a Finca this time. Finca and Montaigne from Ape and Barcode.
Interesting combination there. Finca, of course, it's not exactly too uncommon to see a Finca these days still. Most of the nerfs that Finca got, of course, were centered around her LMG and those grenades. Now she only has flashbangs, of course. Even then, she's still a pretty good operator, all things considered, and one to be feared in every sense of the word. Here comes a boost already. All right, looks like there might be an attempt at a quick push indeed. A quick push is what's coming out right now, as Speakeasy did find one, but Bulobazar took down A-Shock. Ape comes in, finds the trade on Bulobazar, 4v3 inside of the site, or outside, I should say. The site is second floor Aviator Games Room. Most of that action happened on the uh, Aviator side of things. Here comes the Tachanka. Shumika launchers on 90, keeping Elevate away from any sort of entry down this hallway. That, of course, means that they can't quite go as far as they would like to on this route. They got to try elsewhere. And here's the Monty again, entering straight into the site. Oh, you got to be careful in there, Zdux, as shots are about to be fired. And there we go. Zdux will get that kill. Ape will fall. And that makes it a 3v3.
Yep, a 3v3. You still have all the smokes, but never mind about the Shumikas, because Speakeasy will gladly get that. 90's always been cleared, or is it those smokes? Gas canisters will block certain lines of sight, but the wall's doorway has been opened up, which means that they can now have access instead of going in towards Games Room instead. The main problem they have to be worried about is Zdux because he's the only player left. 1v3, he finds the first. Beautiful headshot from beautiful headshot from Zdux, securing that headshot, but still he needs to focus on two more. Both of them are full on HP. Speakeasy, I think he knows he has the information on Jaeger's whereabouts. He's not going to push right away. He's going to wait for Zdux to push in, and I just realized he even has the diffuser drop. So the attackers had to go in for the kill, and we exactly know what that outcome will be. Once again, it will be Team Roosters securing their attack round. And on round number 9, 5-3, Roosters, they are bringing up the pace, and Shaheens, they are having a difficult time trying to end it.
Shaheens have to pick up the pace once again. We did say that defense should be something they are able to take advantage of in this second half. And even then, not quite working out for them. It would seem, oh dear me, rhymes with Buck, having a bit of an unfortunate disconnect right there. And I think we can still pause. Oh, nope.
Nope,
Pause
I don't
timer
think we can.
cannot be activated. Yeah, I think we're going to have to go in for a rehost, folks. Yeah, I do believe a rehost has been called, which means we are going to be going into a rehost at round 9. Do apologize for that, but hey, it is what it is. These sorts of disconnections happen basically all the time, and we are going to have to just, make sure everything is set up properly before we come back to the game again, as it were. So, as the rehost comes into effect, we will also be right back. Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the game between the Shaheens and the Roosters that we are back to right now, folks. It has been a hot minute as we got the rehost underway and got all the settings in place. We do hope everything is set normally and properly, and we should be starting up in round number 9 with pretty much all the sites unlocked because Roosters on attack have won 2 rounds so far, which means no defender sites will be locked and everything seems to be in order. Yes, it is. So let's get right back into it. It's 5-3 to the Roosters, who are looking really, really good right now. Their lead is strong. I would say stronger than ever. And we've got ourselves a very nice competition. Shaheens have put up a good fight, but they need to step up again. They need to take it to the next level if they want to have a shot at going all the way on this map.
And looks like they'll be going to the same site. Actually, not the same site. Statue and Trophy will be the site for Shaheens to be defending. And I'm pretty sure that since they've lost both the rounds on the same second floor AVG and Games Room, it's best to not go in for the third time. When it comes to the operator select, we have Invi with the Zami Scuba barriers, and then you have the Ella's Grismuth mines. Very effective in close quarter combats and also in providing good amount of covers. You even have the bulletproof cams from Mad Ali. Great information. I think it will be given all the way from Statue Hallway. The whole hallways will be looked at. But the main problem that they need to be worried about is Tholji, because it's currently bringing in the glass, and to follow it up, they still have the Montaigne from Ape. So no spawn peaks will be made from Mad Ali. They've already spawned in towards Fountain and main entrance. Lion just gave away the cams. Lion just gave away the Lion's call, which forced Shaheens on a mannequin challenge, which it did, ended up in just 3 or 4 seconds. They should be fine. They'll just usually, sprint around. The main problem they have to worry about is Roosters will slowly make their way in towards the side. I'm pretty sure they have great amount of information towards first floor kitchen. They know that the entire kitchen side is clear, and once they know that Ryan's buck is in towards astronomy, we will see a fight that's going to happen from Roosters' end.
Already we've got the rappel in to the balcony as the Montaigne has made his way to the bathroom window pretty quickly. Already inside a bathroom, never mind. This is, of course, the pace of the Roosters. They're already getting things set up and cleared as fast as possible. They want to go in as Ape is already in here. HCOG takes advantage of all that confusion, finding Rhymes with Buck and Speakeasy wanting to go in the back here. Knows where the Wamai is. Shots fired as Bulbasaur goes down. And the Lion falls in, chasing the Wamai. Gets him. That Xedex down. But Speakeasy falls on the other side as Mad Ali comes around. One trade taken. But can they get more? They need more. As Invi finds one more. As the plant, in the meanwhile, is on the floor. Not quite. It's been denied. A triple kill coming out from Mad Ali. That leaves Tholji, the last one standing. The glass has to find this kill. Will do so. But Invi comes around from the back with support. Gets that trade. What just happened to the Roosters? They completely collapsed as the site was retaken by Invi and Mad Ali in emphatic fashion.
All right. I did not expect that. Roosters, what just happened? This was a 2v5, not a single player from Roosters was downed out. And next thing you know, Shaheens just pulled out a 2v5. Wow. That I definitely did not expect. Round number 10, I'm pretty sure that Roosters will be very careful in their method of approach. Told you this time, once again, going with the Grim. I'm pretty sure that he will 6-pick off to a different operator instead. But the pressure I saw from Roosters towards Astrodor was just phenomenal. I'm pretty sure that the Lion, once he hears the call saying that the whole Astro site is clear, he just vaulted in the window of Trophy and cleared out almost, I wouldn't say cleared out, he eventually did applied a lot of pressure towards 90, in which he failed to get it. I believe it was Speakeasy who was playing as the Lion at that time. Great pressure, but it was eventually it was shut down by either Mad Ali or Invi, who was both of them holding towards landing zone and 90 accordingly. And a good crossfire angles being set up from Shaheen's end, which made them secure those round wins. 4-5, impressive performance that we see here from Shaheens. Although this is their only defensive win in the second half, they need to find more if they need to equalize up against Roosters. This time, Roosters will not make any mistakes. They're not going to, go in for a very aggressive approach. They're not going to bring in Blitz. They're not going to bring in Amaru. They'll just use some simple strategies like the Lion from Tolji. Actually, you know what? They are going in for a rush. I do have to apologize because I just realized I saw Ape with the Blitz, and I'm pretty sure that they're going in for a choo-choo train once again from
Uh,
basement pantry stairs. So hop in on your seatbelts, Jack. I hope you're ready to take it.
Oh boy, here we go. Lion scans in, and so are the players, but Madeline gets the first one. Barcode finds Inui in the meanwhile. Here comes the Blitz onto the Malusi. That's a down, that's a kill, and make that a 3v4 as we've got another on the floor. Many bodies are hitting the ground as it's now down to the 2v3. Barcode, HCOG and Speakeasy versus Zedux, and Rhymes with Buck. 2 defenders remaining. Speakeasy playing around with the skeleton key will get Rhymes with Buck, and that's one more on the floor. Zedux remaining, can't escape the shots coming his way, and that's going to be a quick cleanup for the side of the Roosters.
Oh boy, I think now it's safe for me to unbuckle my seatbelts because it's match point for Roosters on map number 1. 6-4. Once again, Shaheens are facing the Heat, second floor, Aviator, and Games Room. And boy, oh boy, was it a wild ride in the previous round, that is for sure. Shaheens, on the other hand, I believe that once chaos hits, it will be very difficult for them because the amount of precise execute that we've seen from Roosters are just, it's pinpoint, or how can I say it? It's just perfectly executed. And Shaheen's to be able to, counter it in mere seconds, you need to have a decision making skill that needs to, be so quick and thorough, which is very difficult to get at. So at this point, once Roosters made their attention, once Roosters made a decision that once we do this, we are not going to hold back, and evidently Roosters ended up securing it 6-4. I mean, usually when you see an execute like this, if one problem happens, one of the players would hesitate and just stay there for at least 20 to 30 seconds thinking of another solution to the problem. That would definitely not work out as an attacker because time is against them. So whatever happens, even if they do, end up getting a kill or not getting a kill, you still need to be committed to it. And that is a perfect example on how Roosters made that attack in the previous round.
That they did. The commitment to the bit was actually really, really nice to see from them. And they made it work, right? I think both shields, at least one shield was alive, one shield player, excuse me, was alive by the end of the round, which is pretty much what they were looking for. Get the plant in there, get a couple of kills, get, site secured, and just sit there. They wanted it quick, they wanted it clean, and that is exactly what they did. Here comes another E1D from Barcode in this round as shots are fired towards the Gemini in bedroom, inside of the master bedroom. Things are a lot slower this time around from the side of Roosters. They are taking their time. They're making sure of every single possible variable, making sure of every single thing that could go wrong, that doesn't go wrong, under their watchful eye. Shaheen's on the defense as well. They have spread themselves far and wide across the map. They've got multiple cross angles as well. Is Barcode repelled on the central hallway skylight?
Yes, yes.
Did I?
Jack.
Oh my goodness, what a place
Yes,
to be
he is.
repelled from. Oh god, that took a chunk out of his health, that is for sure. That was a breach charge as well, I think, from HCOG. So a bit of friendly fire happening there. But Barcode still vigilant, but the Ash unfortunately does fall. Trade immediately from Tolji as Bolobosor goes down.
Barcode is still in that angle. I cannot believe he's still in the angle for the past 40 seconds. I mean,
My
at this point,
goodness.
none of the defenders are making their way towards the hallway side. Not a quick rotates will be made. It's just the usual players playing around the site. So I think it would be best for Barcode to repel back all the way towards Statuary and provide help from his friends. Information will be given from the attack drone. Speak easy. Once again with the FAMAS. Very difficult line of sight, Barcode. Are you are you doing okay, Barcode? I mean, I think he's still in the angle. Maybe he has some issue with... Nah, never mind. He's fine. He's just going to head into a statuary room. He gets the info, which means that there is a push from Roosters. Oh, boy. The Roosters has sung its songs early in the morning. Actually, it's 8:49 in the night time. As they have secured the side. Zedux once again, the last man standing. 1v3, 0v3. And you can hear the Roosters just sing along And that is map number one cleared out at the hands of Roosters. Map Villa will be theirs. Now we just need to wait and watch to see what map number two will give it to us.
The Roosters have come a calling, and they
Mm-hmm.
signal the dawn of the first win in this particular BO3. 7-4 to the Roosters. What a way to win as well. A couple of rounds of rushing, a couple rounds of playing it slow. They know how to keep us on the edge of our seats, folks. And they definitely know how to play to the game and how to put pressure onto your opponents. They did that wonderfully in this last couple of rounds, in this last entire map. And Villa, I will say, was certainly a blast to start us off with. But we also have, of course, map number 2 and potentially still map number 3, which could happen, couldn't happen. We don't know just yet. Map 2 is, of course, Border, that we will be going to in just a hot minute. And Shaheens are going to be attacking there first once again.
Mm-hmm. Man,
But what a first map, right, Baba? Like, my goodness.
yeah. Especially the last round. For a moment there, I thought Barcode might have had a disconnect, but he was actually having a talk with his team. He was like, you know what? I think we have all the info. We have all the drones. All we need is your line scans and you pushing towards landing zone, and let us do all the jobs. And I've got to admit, the amount of teamwork that I see from Elevate is just so beautiful to watch.
Yep.
Every moment I see on attack, the way how they the way how they focus on providing good amount of covering fire towards their teammates, it kind of gives me a flashback way when I was playing Ghost Recon Future Soldier. I know I know it's a different game, but it's a single player game, but still, there used to be this whole five team where all five team used to work together. And there is this huge thing called as diamond formation, where every single team covers up their backs and protects themselves while shooting a barrage of enemies that comes into their way. And I can see the exact same exact same example, just a little bit, from the Roosters side on Rainbow Six Siege. So it definitely did give me a lot of nostalgia, man.
Yep. So, with all that said, and Baba's little trip down memory lane, as it
Mm-hmm.
were, uh, we we are slowly making preparations to move to map number 2, folks. Border will be in play. It's been a hot minute since we've seen this map come out to play, that is for sure. And I'll tell you what, I'm quite excited to see a competitive round of Siege on this map between Roosters, Elevate. I mean, Baba's just dropped the pretense altogether. We are calling them Elevate at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And Shaheen's on the other
No, I was
side.
just
We
congratulating
have
them. I was just congratulating them.
no,
That's
no,
all.
no, 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 like, I don't mean it in any other way, right? I'm just
Mm-hmm.
making a joke here. But Shaheen's, I have to say, we've seen them on Border before. I think a couple of times against the Hunters, right? Hunters LFO
Mm.
from South Asia, and they've performed relatively well. But I would still say that this is not a map they're fully comfortable in. At least last we saw them, right? They could have practiced and made this map a lot better as well since, but we will, of course, have to see. Roosters, on the other hand, well, they've been here before and they've done pretty well, I will say. Border is a pretty good map for them, all things considered. I do feel like there's a chance they walk away with a win here, and if they do, let's just say, for the sake of argument, if they do, well, that will be rather unfortunate for the Shaheens, as that would mean a 2-0 victory to the Roosters to elevate, and Shaheens unfortunately would have to lose this particular
Mm-hmm.
match.
Well, match entirely, of course, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and here's the thing: map number one, you saw how good that Shaheens were in their execution phase on attack, right? Defense, not so much, right? They usually got themselves caught in a very bad situation. So I just have to see. But all in all, map number two, I'm pretty sure that Shaheens could fight back in attack, but I'm not quite sure if they can do the same thing on defense. So yeah, talk about map number two. Yeah, border is the second map. So currently Roosters will be on defense, which means that Team Shaheens will be on attack. So on overtime, I believe on overtime it will be defense, and the servers will be on C. So hopefully that should help out to all of us. And hopefully, once the team arrives into the lobby, we will get the ready confirmation and proceed to map number two. But all in all, I have to give I have to give a lot of credits to all the SA players out there, man, who's just still giving up, who's still giving a fight. They've made impressive performance on the SA League, even on LCQ. Even though for Shaheens it was a 2-0 loss from Fury, and for Hunters it was 2-1 when they went up against Elevate. These guys, they definitely did give a good fight. Don't lose hope. Hopefully, in the next future matches, we might see them perform even better. But talk about the now with the majors Copenhagen. I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure that Elevate and Team Fury will also give a really great fight, and I cannot wait to see what Copenhagen just delivers a fatal blow. I mean, when I say fatal blow, I meant like an electrifying performance. I just cannot wait to see what Copenhagen brings in
You could
store because you
say,
have NA,
ba- ba- ba-
EU,
ba-
and the
ba- ba-
rest of
ba-
the
ba- ba-
teams.
ba- 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 ba-
Yes, yes, Jet,
ba- ba.
yes. Hmm.
You could say, right? You could say that at Copenhagen, right?
Hmm.
We're expecting an elevated performance
Hmm.
from these players.
Oh boy. Well, let's just cope up with it.
Aha.
I thought I was.
Mhm. All right, folks. So, seems we've got a little bit of news coming in about Year 8 Season 2. This post was made actually about 10 minutes ago. Yeah, 10 minutes ago when we were still in the middle of not in the middle, the end of the ending few rounds of that last map. So we didn't really get to talk about it much, but we've got a few things to peek at Year 8 Season 2, folks. Outside of course, the already confirmed operator from Sweden that will be joining the playable roster, we've got a host of improvements to the shooting range, which I, for one, can't get enough of. Especially when there are stretches of times where I don't play Rainbow Six for whatever reason have you, and then I go back. Sometimes it's just nice to get into the shooting range, get my bearings back on the guns, as it were. But one thing I'm very excited for, Baba, is that permanent arcade mode playlist.
Hmm.
That is going to be really refreshing for all the Siege players, don't you think?
Yep. I mean, if you talk a lot, even if you talk about permanent arcade modes, you have tons. Golden Gun. You had, you know, a Western shootout, like back in 1980s, where you only have boss Gs and revolvers in hand. That used to be a really great arcade mode. Sometimes it usually comes in a form like an event wise. Currently, Rainbow is Magic Siege. Rainbow is Magic event has come out, and I kid you not, I have bought every single packs. I didn't miss a single one of them.
Yes, I
Not a
have seen
single
you.
one.
Yeah.
And when I look at the Thatcher's outfit, I just fell in love with that outfit, man. The whole teddy bear outfit, the whole puns about bear with me, about bears and deers. It was just funny to look at. And also the event was also good. It was pretty decent too. I like it
Hmm.
as well. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that the next part where they introduce permanent arcade playlist, this would bring a lot of casual players into the scene too, and
Oh,
they could
yes.
make a lot of great content out of it. So it's a good good place, because usually when you talk about Rainbow Six Siege, when you talk about casuals, when you talk about ranked, it's always a 5v5 matchup where every single player will be serious about what kind of strategies that they're going to present itself. So they're not going to play it so in order to try to have some fun, make sure to not use a lot of brains and just go ham, just have fun. Permanent arcade playlist will be there, and I'm pretty sure in the next update it will be opened up for all of the players out there. So yeah, make sure to check it
That
out.
it will be great. But speaking of content for all types of players, right? There is a map rework that'll be joining us in Year 8 Season 2 as well, folks. We have confirmation that the Consulate map rework that was teased at the 6th Invitational will be released in Year 8 Season 2. Yes, that is correct. Consulate is a map that honestly hasn't really seen too much change. It did get a map buff a couple of years ago, and the only major change that it got in that map buff was an addition of a new site, which was the first floor and bottom floor. First floor tellers and bottom floor arcade archives site, right? It's a good site for competitive, not so great for casual and ranked, but it is what it is, right? Well, that entire map is now getting reworked. I would love to see what they're working
Hmm.
on, but not just yet, folks. We'll have to just wait until the majors to get our first view of this new map. And I'll tell you what, this map is probably going to be really, really good. I've got a good feeling about this Consulate rework. Consulate's a legacy map, well, as close to a legacy map as it gets in Rainbow Six, right? So yeah. Speaking of reworks, actually, there's a couple of changes slash balancing reworks, as it were. So if you remember the one that Frost was supposed to get, right?
Oh
That
man, yeah.
unfortunately has been delayed to Year 8 Season 3. It seems like they've got a few more polishing to do. They might not be going with the original idea that they showed at the Invitational, which is always nice, if they're open to criticism and open to changing how these sorts of uh, you know, operator reworks work, then all the better for it. And of course, finally, as it were, we've got a couple of new things actually. There's a Grim buff coming for all those
Hmm.
unaware. And I'll tell you what, he needs a lot of buffs. Grim is just not in a good place right now.
I
And it's
mean,
a
at
two
this,
parter as well.
I
He's
mean, he's
getting
basically the Grim Reaper. He's just waiting with his
no, no, no.
scythe on the left
He's
hand, just waiting
Baba.
for a buff. Huh?
Baba, you call him the Grim Reaper. The only thing he reaps is his own gameplay
Oh,
because
gee.
he
Oh
does not he does not play well. I have
oh
tried him
man.
way too many times and just he's too clunky. So he's gonna have a two-part buff, the first part coming out in the second season and the second part coming out in the fourth season, interestingly enough. Well, let's see what this first part buff of this two-part buff is. Finally, a new observation blocker gadget. Now you might be thinking, what is an observation blocker? It is a new intel denial tool that is being added to Year 8 Season two's update arsenal, as it were. And we don't really have much intel on it. So, I mean, I guess it's done its job, right? We don't have intel on an intel denial gadget, but we're going to find out some more at the Copenhagen Major. So, once again, make sure to tune in when that starts in a couple of weeks from now. With all that said, I do believe we're going to want to take a little bit of a break here just to get all the players in, get everybody ready and set up, and we'll be right back, folks. Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Shaheens versus Roosters game here at the SEAS Summer Tournament. Here with your host Blackjack and Bob Gusta, of course. We're back for this match in map number 2 in this BO3 between Shaheens and Roosters, aka Elevate. And we are now into map number 2. It is 1-0 to the Roosters right now, and they are going to be going into the second map, which is Border, with a pretty big advantage. Question is, can the Shaheens make it a 1-1 push to map 3? Or will this be the last map we see them on for tonight?
Well, talk about the bans itself. It's still the same. The Kebby from the side of Roosters. They definitely do not want the Kebby to be played out on attack, mainly because you can give tons of information via with just a phone call, or just maybe steal every single defender's cam that the defenders usually have placed with. So definitely the Kebby will be banned. And the second one, Thatcher, as usual. You don't want to have those EMPs just tossed around and just disable all of the utilities in just one single throw. Azami will be banned this time from Shaheens because they saw how powerful it was for Roosters to establish that line of sight with the given good amount of perfection. At this point, Azami's scuba bear is similar to a deployable shield, but you can just literally throw at it in long range and provide that perfect line of sight. So Valkyrie will be banned on the side of end. The only difference that you see is that the defensive bans are the only thing that's different. Azami and Valkyrie will be banned. Information wise, information will be denied, and so is the protection from the covers, which means that Echo is still available. The Yokai drones are very powerful for denial and providing good amount of information both at the same time. But let's just begin with map number 2. Roosters on map point. If they secure border, then they will secure this best of 3 matchup up against Shaheens. And I'm pretty sure that they're going to start their site from second floor armory lockers and archives. So let's just see what's going to happen. And let's see what round number 1 will bring us to this.
Here we go. Map number 2 is now in play. And as you can see, Shaheens have made a little bit of a swap. We have Mayank coming in as there's a substitute in place of Bulbasaur, who unfortunately could not join us for this second map. That is pretty much all the changes. But that, yes indeed, Armory is the side of choice, and there's a very interesting defense going on here from the Rooster side. We've got a Rook coming in from Speakeasy, although you kind of get it right with the Rook pick, because Rook is a really good operator now. His plays, of course, give you a health boost. Not just that, they also allow you to revive yourself from the ground. Of course, you'll have less HP as it were, but you can do a self-res with Rook's armor plates, and of course they always guarantee a DBNO, so it's always a good thing to have. You have a Warden as well, anticipating a very flashbang heavy play, along with the Solus for all the drones and electrical gadgetry and whatnot that the attackers will bring. Ella and Mozzie to round out that roster. Speaking of the Mozzie, we've already got Barcode downstairs inside of Customs. There's a C4. Will do a little bit of damage to Zdux, but the drone has seen this Mozzie, so the position is given away. There's 2 players in this first floor now, as the red pings are also going off, but it doesn't look like the attackers want to really aggress into Customs just yet. They want to hold off and really just make sure that they don't get taken out by surprise. As in the meanwhile, this Rook, wait a minute, Speakeasy, looking for somebody on the rappel on the balcony. Not going to find one just yet. Everybody's down on the first floor. There's only one repeller right now, who is trying to get in on the east balcony. Shots fired under 8, but he's the one who gets rhymes with Buck. That's your Hibana down. That's the first kill, and a second from Barcode.
Yep, still a 3v5. This time Shaheens needs to secure a kill, in which they cannot find one. Tolzi finds one instead towards server room. And now it's just Invi and Mayank. 2v5. We've seen a 2v4 recovery back in Mapilla, but I'm pretty sure that this is a very high risk. It's a 2v4. Mayank's been downed out all the way towards second floor armory room because there is one currently player watching from that particular line of sight. And now it's Invi. Not quite sure that vaulting in from the window could be a good idea. And now he's going to get taken out from none other than Barcode. Round number 1, Team Roosters secure their first round of defense.
Truly a cleanup at that too. They didn't even not even close to site. It wasn't even anywhere close to roaming around the site. The only player who was on second floor got cleaned up by an SMG-11 without much trouble at all. Told you was up there, I do believe, the Solus getting that kill. And of course, everybody else on the first floor, it was just easy pickings for the Roosters as they take the first round on defense here. Border starts off in their court. And of course, they've got a few more rounds to go. We've all got a few more rounds to go before we can concretely say which way this is going or not. But I'll tell you this much, Baba. That first round was an emphatic statement by the Roosters that, yeah, we're not going to let you take an inch on this map. So it's up to you now, Shaheens, to show us what you've got.
I mean, you could see the pressure that Barcode did all the way towards detention, right? A committed C4, and Shaheen's didn't even thought about peeking or providing, trying to pressure Mozzie, but instead they tried to choose on a different method of approach, and that is towards ventilation window. But apparently there was Rook who had that vertical line of sight watching towards the window side. So at this point, Roosters have every single entryway from the attackers locked. So the only thing they need to do is find a different route where they can first remove the roamers first, who are currently, going in for a very aggressive flank. If you remove that, they should be fine. But they still need to be careful. Like I said, speakeasy once again from the windows. Info from the drone will be given once. Only one player is playing towards ventilation, so it shouldn't be much of a problem for the players for Shaheens to, secure a kill or two. But this aggression that we're seeing right now, and this hack could find one. No, it's actually did it explode? No, it did not explode.
I don't
Somehow
know if it did.
I'm pretty sure it did not explode. Barcode, actually,
Oh,
I think it
dear.
was Barcode was still holding the angle. He was like inch away of getting exploded from his own cap can trap. And my God, Roosters on the other hand, they're just playing it as clean as
Oh, there you
possible.
go.
But here we go. Mad Ali gets one
Oh.
elevate. It's just huge spray away from that hallway. Will also get Mayank. Now it's a 4v4. Make that 4v3 as Invi secures one this time. Shaheens could bring this back as an aggressive approach. Will be given. Control is theirs. So is the secure on the side. But they still need to be careful on the Solus because he is currently playing in towards armory room. The plant is given. Will we see a denial from Solus? Yes, it does. Here comes the info, impact, denials. Everything's been given. 4v1. But Mad Ali will be there. Mad Ali will make sure that Solus will not make any problems whatsoever. Plant needs to be done. It's 1v3. Ape Elevate. He gets one. And he finds the rest of the two players, Mad Ali and Zdux. If Ape clears this out, this could be good. But no, Zdux still has a skeleton key. He will secure the kill. And this time, Shaheens will definitely fight back with a ruthless round on attack.
Talk about fighting fire with fire. Shaheen's absolutely firing back at the Roosters in this round, showing, hey, aggression isn't just something you guys can do. I can do it, or we can do it too, And that is exactly what happened. Ventilation didn't quite go the way that I think I'm fairly certain we can all say that Roosters didn't quite think it was going to go that way. But it is what it is. They cut their losses and move to a different site immediately. They don't want to, make any mistakes that they already did in vents. They're going to go back there later if need be. Right now, they're moving to the first floor bathroom site. Bathroom handlers, as it were. Of course, this is a site that, as of it's not recent, but Border did get a little bit of a map rework some time ago, and that made that bathroom teller site very, very defendable. And with the right setup, this site becomes near impossible to get into without the proper attacker lineups as well. So there's a lot that's going to happen in this round from both sides, and it's really, really going to matter for Shaheens how they decide to approach this round and how they decide to go about, their entry, their fragging, their drone clear, especially. Second floor clear is going to be exceptionally important this time around, and if they're not good with it, then they're going to have a lot of trouble indeed.
A lot of trouble unless until Rhymes with Buck has something else to say with the Garahawk. It's just interesting to see that Ape just casually pre-fires towards the angle because that's where usually the attackers would push in all the way from Valley spawn. But at least on the bright side, information will be given for Shaheens. They know that one of the player could be. I mean, but they don't have the exact. They know that Goyo is currently playing from the first floor side. Now he's just fallen back all the way towards second floor, joined alongside with the team so that he can, hold their angles off and ensure that he'll be able to provide as much of good protection as he necessarily needs. I just like how instead of contesting the angle, he chose to find info and then fell back all the way towards the side just to give, just to give
Oh boy.
information on exactly what's happening. But pretty sure a Gara hook can happen, and if that Gara hook clicks, then this could be huge. Rhymes with Buck, it just needs proper timing and some information from the drones, but I mean, at this point, they're just waiting for confirmation right now, and I think they haven't found it
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah, they're just waiting for that confirmation. That defender is still there. That's Amira, I do believe. And runs with Buck could get that. And there you go. H-Kong was standing on that window for way too long. It goes down, unfortunately, as we've got the Frost up here trying to deal with all of these roam clear attackers that has disappeared out of nowhere. Barco gets one. That's Envy down for the count. That's one of the board. Tolzi taking a ton of damage. Gotta be careful. The Vigil joins the fight in the hallway currently. Gotta be careful. There's somebody inside of CCTV. Going into break room, could find that Vigil in the hallway, but no, Speakeasy finds Drive with Buck instead, gets taken down by Mad Ali inside a break room. It's now a 3v3. Frost is still above. Could be cause for concern for the attacking team. No, falls back instead as the flashbangs come flying. Oh, beautiful shot onto Zdux. It's an interesting place for the Tachanka to be playing. Gets a kill, Mad Ali to fall. And it's all now down to the substitute player, Mayank, who's joined in this round, the lone Hibana, in a 1v3.
And now here comes the fire. The Shumika launches, not letting Mayank push an inch, and here comes Barcode. All it requires is just information from the gun, secures the kill, and boy, oh boy, do we get to see Team Roosters just tearing Shaheens' attack apart one by one, 2-1. Second floor, Army Lockers will be the site once again. And I just kind of like the way how Roosters were playing at this moment. Early round, you don't see them go for a lot of spawn peaks. It's just it's like they're adding some fear element into it, thinking that they might go in for a spawn peak, but it's not. And you saw the Goyo in the early round. He was just currently playing it for info, knowing that the site is on first floor tellers. The place that he was currently trying to pre-fire in detention was usually it would take a lot of time for the attackers to push all the way towards tellers, right? So his decision to go all the way back upstairs and provide covering fire for his team is definitely a good thing to look down upon, because not only you have information regarding one of the players, you can also go back to site freely, tell your teammates that one of them will be playing towards attention. They'll be able to predict exactly where the players would arrive at that exact location and just execute it flawlessly. And I wouldn't say that this was a flawless round. Roosters did in fact had a lot of problems, especially the Mira, who was currently in the window for more than 30 or 40 seconds. Being in that position is not really a good idea, but I'm pretty sure that the defenders had no idea where the attack drone was. So unless and until Shaheens had the information, or should I say if Roosters had the information that there was an attack drone, we would have seen Mira at least repositioning her location over and over again. But I believe they didn't have that information.
I mean, even more so than that, who would really expect an Amaru repellent that late into the round, right? So, not really much of a fault of the Mira right there, but in the meanwhile, this is an interesting peek on the door that I was seeing, but H-Cock goes down instead. Unfortunate, as Zdux will take that kill. Mayank seems like is having a bit of a connection moment right there, connection issue moment, as it were. Might disconnect soon, which would be unfortunate, but we'll just have to wait and see about that. As in the meanwhile, yep, there you go. That is a disconnect. Probably going to be a rehost in the next round, folks. Apologies for that. But right now, we've got this Echo Drone doing a lot of intel work for the team on the east balcony right now. Rooster's getting a ton of info out of it, but no kills to them just yet. It's a 4v4 purely because of a disconnect, not much more than that, as the grenades from below will come in from Envy. Not going to find a defender just yet. These are some long lines of sight that, Roosters are working with right now. But the Question is, how far will they be effective?
Yeah, we're about to find that out in a minute, 30
Oh boy.
seconds. Mad Ali,
Oh boy.
oh boy,
Oh
does he
boy.
know? I think he knows. I think
I
he
think,
knows.
yep.
He just needs to wait for the perfect
Oh,
moment, but turns out it's not gonna get that kill that easily that he expected it to happen. But Speakeasy, on the other hand, will be dealt with major damage, Ape as well. So since this is a 4v4, this could be a bit disastrous for Roosters if they cannot figure out a way, because Shaheens are slowly gathering up their forces. 4v3, Rhymes with Buck secures one, gets caught up from Barcode. Mad Ali gets the other two, making it a 2v3 situation. It's just 1 minute left for Shaheens to make their play. They finally got control on the second floor side. The site's in second floor armory, so they need to push it fast, because Roosters, they'll be playing it as safe as possible. And with a total of 17 Shumika launches, my god, that is more than enough to deny any plant, or should I say any lines of sight arriving at that particular position. Meanwhile, yep, it's a 2v2 once again. Barcode secures one more. 2v2 stuff. Prone peaks will be made, but he tries to go in. Save!
oh
Not
my
a good
goodness.
wave. Triple kill. Barcode is on fire. He needs to find the last one. Can he get the final peak? No, it will be Tolji all the way from the hallway side. He gets the kill. Actually, not from hallway, all the way towards fountain. Secures the kill, and man, what a tremendous performance from Roosters. 4-1. Actually, 3-1 from Roosters.
That was a 2v4, right?
Yep.
Taken by the Frost and the Tachanka. Well done to those two. 3-1 to the Roosters as they are, well, their lead is getting bigger and bigger with each round that passes, and Shaheens have to step up. I've said this a couple of times before, but Shaheens definitely need to keep up with the Roosters on roughly the same scale. In terms of improvements and adaptations, because that's one place where I think the Shaheens kind of lack, which is to say their overall adaptation game going forward into any given map, right? They have these issues where they just they can't keep up sometimes. When they start getting pressured, they seem to not be able to keep up, which is a bit, it's a bit sad. But over the last few months, at the last few competitions that we've seen of them, they have certainly tried and improved to quite an extent, especially when it comes to getting over that particular weakness of theirs. But it still remains to some extent. It's not something that's going to go away very quickly. And Roosters, in the meanwhile, well, they are taking rounds as wherever they can, wherever they, feel like, oh yeah, we can take this round because of this mistake that they've done, or this opening that we created by pressuring them so much. And they just kind of go from there, right? They're looking to sort of force Shaheens to make mistakes, back them into a corner, and then, take them out as and when required. Right now, of course, the site is first floor ventilation, which is the one site that Roosters have lost so far, but they are going to want to change that, and that could be this round.
Some drone works will be made. I believe one of the information could be given away from Roosters' end, but at this point, Rams with Buck needs to just make sure that none of them would be holding out towards east stairs. Just kind of worried about that. With Speakeasy, he's currently one playing as the Vigil, so roam game is very crucial for Roosters. That's the main thing that I was worried about, but this time it's just Barcode who is just getting kills every single round. He's currently at the total of 9 kills, but this time he will be shut down from Mayank. A good trade-outs will be made. 4v4. Control on Armory will be at the hands of Shaheens. Now they need to slowly make their way towards the first floor side. Actually, not from the first floor. Ventilation side. It will be tough. They will slowly progress their way in towards the side itself. They're already in towards ventilation. They're going in for a very quick plant. Mad Ali, can he secures this post plant? This would actually look good because Roosters, no one is actually in the site. They've figured out the weak point. And now it's a post-plant situation. Apparently, the Yokai drones wasn't at the proper time to deny the plant. And now Roosters are forced in a very simple precaution. Oh boy. Oh, I almost coughed at that particular moment, but that bearing 9 definitely did get the headshot. Speakeasy also gets the second too. Once again, aggressive prey style from Roosters as they're trying to get kills as best as possible. The shotgun gets one. A second from Toji as he is ripping Shaheens apart one by one. It's 1v3. Mad Ali, can he secures it? No, I think not. The fire will force him back out. He will be dead. They have 6 seconds.
No
way. There is absolutely no way that Roos is gonna get away with this.
Oh my god! That was the last possible millisecond. The last possible millisecond that just happened. Are you kidding me right now? That could not have gotten closer if they tried. They managed to get the Flores, and I think it was Speakeasy, right, who did the counter defuse at the end. Speakeasy managed to get on the counter defuse literally like 0.01 second, I think, before it went beyond the point of no return. So we've got to sort of explain this, right? I feel like we've got to explain this. So basically, when it comes to diffuser and counter diffuse, right? The diffuse timer is 45 seconds, but the last 7 seconds is considered the point of no return under the last 7 seconds because it takes 7 seconds to counter defuse, right? When you're
Hmm.
sitting down with that little device on your hands, basically praying to the diffuser stop working. So it takes 7 seconds for that process to happen. So those, if at the moment it goes under 7 seconds on the diffuse timer, that means you've lost your chance and the round is lost. By the time Speak Easy started the animation for the counter defuse, on the top counter, it was already 6 seconds and 90 something milliseconds, right? But the counter defuse timer also starts the moment the animation starts. There's no delay. So Speakeasy somehow managed to get the two timers lined up in such a way where the counter defuse had a couple of milliseconds to work with. Had he for some reason been forced to let go, had that Flores managed to get that shot, we saw, right, the Flores had a shot lined up on
Hmm.
Speakeasy before being taken down. Had that bullet been fired, that would have been it. The round would have been won. Shaheens would have gotten away with it. But Roosters, by the skin of their teeth, and a beautiful retake. Let's not take anything away from the retake they pulled off, right? After the site was completely left clear by their own hand. It was exceptionally well done from them. And then that final clutch defusal. My goodness.
Man, you would never expect to see anything like this. Usually, when you see an attacker secure a post plant, it's basically it. Especially if it's a 5v5 or a 5v4, even a 5v3. I mean, you can even include all of them 5v1s or a 5vx situation. If the attacker secures the plant, it's all over for the defenders. Basically, you only have 60 seconds. In that 60 seconds, you need to have at least 6 seconds for the diffuser. And Roosters ended up with utilizing that little time. Not only did they secure second foresight, not only did they secure removing the certain lines of sight where the attackers usually hold their angles, but they've also figured out a way to force Flores to push aggressively towards the window, and that too they did it with the help of Tachanka's Shumika launches. And my god, did I never expected that Roosters would get away with a win like this. 4-1. Shaheens, on the other hand, oh man, I'm not quite sure what to say at this moment, but I believe one of the players inside of Shaheens have experienced a power cut. So
Oh
unfortunately,
dear.
we might have to start the whole round in a 4v5.
Hmm.
Unfortunate, but it is what it is. We did give Shaheens a lot of time to, make sure that they could come back, but you know, the maximum time that we can allot for them is maximum around 3 to 4 minutes. But until then, we can't, you know, give it back. But I'm pretty sure that they're requesting for a rehost, but we just have to wait and watch. But anyways, the ready confirmation already been given from the side of Team Shaheens. So we just have to see whether what the decision would be. But yeah, we just have to wait.
Well, they did say that they want to play the 4v5. I think it was just saying that if they have to, if they even have a sub, I don't know if they do, but if they did, it'd have to be a rehost anyway, which
Hmm.
is, yeah, that is actually kind of correct. And even then, in the middle of the match, I don't think a sub is allowed in the middle of the map. So that's, yeah, that's very unfortunate
I
for the
mean, let's not
Shaheens right
forget
now.
Shaheen's have already made a swap, right? They've
They've
swapped role
already,
numbers
yeah.
to yeah,
Yeah. Even then, it's the middle of the map, right? Middle,
yeah.
like, we can't just have a sub popping in the middle of the map, which is unfortunate, but it goes against the rules. So not much can be done right now. Shane simply have to play this map 4v5 and do what they can. Let's not forget, it's never really over when it comes to Rainbow Six. There is still a chance for the Shanes to pull off a win here, but it's going to be very, very difficult, especially if there's going to be things like this. Speakeasy with the first kill, and that is going to be Zedux to fall, but Mad Ali gets the trade very, very quickly. Oh, this
Oh boy.
Caveira is really looking to go for something right now. Shots fired as Tolji takes damage, puts damage back onto Envy as well, as HCOG finds one. That's Barcode onto another. Rhymes with Buck is now the last one standing. Without really much to do for the team. Whoa! Oh! Almost! Come on! Oh dear. Oh
What
dear.
is happening? Oh
This is a
jeez.
scuffed gunfight. Oh dear me. 5-1 as we end the first half.
I mean, at this point, barcode is like beep, boop, beep, beep, beep.
Bruh.
He was basically beeping at the, like he was basically giving a Morse code or something. It's like Morse code. It's like, look, guys, this will be a 5-1 favoring for Team Roosters. 5-1. My God. Okay, no disrespect once again, Shaheens. I'm sorry. I'm, I don't know what to say. All right, I I don't know what to say. All five players from Roosters have decided to just run out, get all four kills. You guys tried your level best, but still,
Oh.
it's not a lot that we could say at this moment, can we?
Speaking of hyper aggressive rooster plays, right? Look at the attacking look at the attacking lineup there, Baba. Does that tell you what the Roosters might be planning for this round?
That, oh my, that
Hmm?
definitely looks like Operation Chimera 2.0.
Okay, well, yeah, that, but no, this is a very specific team used for a very specific rush plant type on
Oh, you're
this map
seeing
of
their rush.
border.
Oh, don't tell me they're gonna
They're
rush
gonna
plant from
try the
archives.
archives plant.
Oh
Yes.
no.
Who's got the diffuser though? Speakeasy
I,
has the diffuser. That's interesting.
yeah, Speakeasy as the diffuser.
They
So
might
yeah,
not be then. They
yeah,
might not be
it's.
going for the rush plant. Maybe they're doing a different rush plant.
Oh,
Maybe one
okay.
that we're not aware of. Could be. Oh, security. It could be from security. We'll have to see. Oh, okay. Invi. He's about to come face to face with a couple of attackers. In just a hot minute here, drones are going to be coming in. He does hear them. He's
Well,
going to
safe
want
enough.
to try and take these attackers out. Shots fired. And the Finka now knows. That means the caller will be there. Beautiful shot onto Speakeasy. That is diffuser dropped as well. That means no matter what they do above, it doesn't matter. Their plant isn't going to work. And Tolji, in the meanwhile, has fallen. It's a 3v4.
Yeah, looks like Shaheens are fighting back. Mad Ali, okay, wish we could have seen him from his perspective. Pistol to secure Barcode. Not quite sure exactly what happened from Barcode's end. But now it's a 4v2 favoring for Shaheens this time. Ape and HCOG left in a 2v4. Invi on the other hand, beautiful shot out though to remove Speakeasy. HCOG on the other hand will be removed out, which means that it's just Ape in a 3v1. I'm
Oh,
pretty
no.
sure that it's Shaheens who will secure round number 7. Okay, I have a lot of questions, but I think it would be best to just focus on round number 8 instead, because Roosters, on the other hand, I'm not quite sure what exactly happened.
Yeah, I think they just took the round a bit too lightly, right? There was no protection for that Finka, right? Speakeasy with the diffuser had no one protecting him or, going with him in case of a trade. in case the diffuser carrier got taken down. I feel like Finka was probably instrumental to their plan, their ultimate plan, whatever that was, and that didn't work. So now they just have to kind of go ahead with whatever else they can try to manage for these next few rounds. 5-2 is the scoreline. Roosters are up by quite a wide margin, mind you. So it's not like they're really, clamoring for rounds just yet. They've got a ways to go before you can really say they're under a lot of pressure. But you never know. After all, like we said before, this is competitive Rainbow Six. Things can change at the drop of a hat. As far as the Roosters go, well, it's only 2 rounds for them to win. And that'll be that. That will be a 2-0 victory on this BO3 in the Seas Summer Tournament. If not, Shaheens could push for overtime. But again, given that it's a 4v5, it's going to be exceptionally, exceptionally difficult. Let's see how it goes.
Yep. Let's see how. I think. Wait a minute. I think all three of the players are going to be focusing a lot towards the tension side. So the attackers could make a push from there itself, but I think it's already been reinforced. But the main problem they need to focus on to has to be Z-Ducks. Oh boy, damage has been dealt. Transit Bug will stay alive. As soon as they have 2 C4s and 1 impacts, but that 1 C4 will be, gone out of the distance from Ape. Wish you could have seen it in Ape's perspective, and here comes the Z-Ducks in a 3v4 situation. I mean, this is going very quick at this point. And I just say, Shaheens on the other hand, they're still currently struggling. Tolzi might be able to find one of Frost's location, and Speak Easy will definitely secure post plant. And now it's Shaheen's turn to see whether they can clutch this out on a post plant situation. 40 seconds, Raj's bug goes out, and so is just Envy left into his archives. His positioning is already been given away. Tolzi is not going to let Envy rotate all the way towards Fountain. So what Envy can do? Well, secondary shotgun and just hold an angle. At this point, it is. I think this will be a match point for Roosters at this point here, Jack.
Oh dear. Barcode and Tolzi having a bit of a scuffle over there on metal stairs. As meanwhile, it seems Envy is more than happy to just sit here inside of archives, but even all those bullets can't take down HCOG, who comes up the metal stairs, finishes the job, and Rooster are now, excuse me, are now up on match point and series point here. They just need to win one more round, and that will be all she wrote for the Shaheens in this best of 3. Well, a slight update on that whole ruling thing, folks. According to the admins, they can actually sub out mid-game. That was just me misreading the rules. Apologies for that. But subbing out mid-game is allowed, but it seems like Shaheens have not called for it. So ultimately, we are still going on in a 4v5. It is the Shaheens' call. If they want to rehost for a sub-in, that's up to them. If they don't want to, then that is also up to them. Right now, it is match point to the Roosters at 6-2 up.
Yep, 6-2. And at this point, I mean, it is Shaheen's game. It is Roosters' game after all. I mean, at this point, Roosters are just currently bringing in the big guns at this point. Blitz and Montaigne, 2 of the annoying shield operators that you see. And to even make things worse, you even have Zero, I believe. I think it's Speakeasy. With the smokes, that could help in blocking an important line of sights. So yeah, 5v5, I'm pretty sure a rush would happen. Here comes the Finker, here comes the smokes, here comes the execute from the side of Roosters. Apparently the second Gone 6 did not exactly head towards the window side, but Shaheens on the other hand will hold their ground. Ramsbach secures one, but the choo-choo train is still in effect. Hitchcock already pushing towards server room, but you forgot that there is Ramsbach still holding from the doorways. Still giving hopes and dreams for Shaheens to put themselves back up on their feet, and looks like it is working out well for them. 2v4, both the shield operators are down, and it's just Speakeasy and Barcode. who are left to determine whether they can end this round on a 7-2, or will we see Shaheens fight back all the way to an equalizer 6-6? I mean, at this point, you still have the dog. Dog can just instantly stim Mad Ali back to full HP. And oh boy, rhymes with Buck. Very risky
Ah,
decision. Oh boy, not a good way to get this one. 3v1. This time is just speak easy. The trades will be given. I'm pretty sure that rhymes with Buck was mostly used as a distraction to get that confirmation on the kill. Speak easy. Oh no. Wait a minute. Okay, Legion had no idea the speakeasy was in there. But on the bright side, diffuser's been dropped, and I'm pretty sure that Shaheens will play accordingly from that line of sight.
yep, there's two of them above as well. They've got plenty of angles to work with and plenty of verticality as well. There you go. Envy had just punched that hole in that wall. No, actually, that was there a while ago, I think. And in either case, gets that final kill. And it's not going to be a 7-2, folks. Not just yet. It's still 6-3. 3 rounds for the Shaheens to win in order to try and equalize and push for OT. Then yeah, it's going to be difficult to say the least, but not impossible. Shanes are already showing that they can take rounds away from the Roosters should they want to. Roosters, on the other hand, playing a bit too fast and loose, I would say, and they definitely would want to tighten up if they want to win this match.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. This time, Roosters will be playing much more seriously this time, much more seriously than they did in the previous round. I I realized I said Zero instead of Sense. Sense is usually the operator who can block important line of sights, but all in all, Shaheen's 3-6, even with a man disadvantage of a 4v5, Shaheen are still giving a good fight, and I appreciate that. Huge respect. Two C4s from Ramshid Buck and Invi, which means that they'll be playing it accordingly with info. So Roosters, on the other hand, since we won't be able to see them bring in the Blitz, nor we do get to see the Finka being brought up, they'll be bringing in some usual operators that can help them provide easier access towards the site, removing roamers one by one, and putting themselves on a maximum high potential of a post-plant situation. So let's see what's going to happen here. Shaheens, they need to win 3 rounds back to back if they need to secure map number 2 border and also securing overtime match point. Informations will be fully declined with Zedux finding at least a drone or two to secure a kill or not, and hopefully getting to remove Ape out of the equation. But turns out that opportunity will be missed, and he will be hunted down left, right, and center. My goodness, H-Cock, what a powerful what a powerful presence being shown around 2v4 with both Mad Ali and Xerox both out of the equation. Even with Barcode being, taken out of the open. I believe he just made an exact location from the other side, but it's still a 1v3. Pistols out, 4 rounds with Buck. He gets the second two, all right. There could be a huge possibility. C4, can that connect? Almost. Ape is still alive, which means post plant is secured. And now it's a 1v2 situation. No C4, only a shotgun and a hope to see whether if that 30 seconds could help him secure. At this point, it's just the dance of the shields, and Rhymes is just rushing, hoping to find the thermite. Can he find him? Oh, no, he won't. He doesn't get it, but this will definitely force Montaigne back all the way towards the other side. If he just removes Speakeasy, that should be more than enough. He's currently repelled all the way towards the other side. No way out, no way in, no time at all. And folks, map number 2, Roosters, they will secure it.
7-4 and then 7-3. Going on a 2-0, that is going to be Roosters, aka Elevate, taking the victory here in this match at the SEAS Summer Tournament. Folks, we hope you've had a fun time watching, as we've had a fun time casting, I'll tell you what. As Shaheens, it's always a pleasure to cast, of course, but this is also, I think, mine and Baba's first time casting an Elevate match. Bit of an honor on that as well. So, with that said, we do hope you've enjoyed this match. We do hope that you've enjoyed, our casting for it as well. And yeah, congratulations to Elevate for winning a 2-0 victory. And with that said, that's going to be it for myself, Blackjack, my co-host, Babagusta, and our match host, Bullet, who has joined us and, well, who's been the one having us on his channel for the stream as well. So thank you for having us. And with that, we're going to be signing off for the night.